you ever walked in the grocery store and you go to the produce section and you see this big organic section and all the fruits and vegetables are much, much smaller than the normal ones? Well, and while you're wondering, have you ever considered if it was even more beneficial to eat those organic foods? Well, to start with, the USDA defines as organic consumable foods as free of antibiotics, unnatural pesticides, and genetically modified organisms. And over the last few years, organic foods have become sort of this trend and have even become a multi-billion-dollar industry. But there is one big common misconception that organic farm foods are not only safer for you, but also for the environment as well. First off, the word organic refers to the way that the farmer grows his or her agriculture, such as your vegetables, fruits, pretty much anything that grows out of the ground. The process that they use is to reduce air pollution as well as conserve on their water and soil. For example, a farmer would probably use a natural fertilizer, either purchased or made locally. They would also rotate their crops every so year to prevent insects and diseases. Now, because this process differs from the conventional way, it's oftentimes organic food is going to be marked up and it'd be crazy expensive. But the USDA has actually established a certification program for farmers that requires all farmers to follow a strict government guidelines. For example, one of these rules is that farmers may not use a chemical fertilizer or pesticide. The USDA puts a lot of emphasis on farmers' agriculture and their biodiversity. So, yeah. A common misconception is that when a consumer buys organic product, it is pesticide-free. But in reality, this ideology was actually created by consumers. But in reality, farmers may actually use a pesticide, but it has to be natural, so they can actually use copper, nicotine, and sometimes even sulfur. Secondly, there's a slight misconception that all natural and organic foods mean the same thing, but they're actually not even interchangeable. Many of these labels you'll find on grocery stores, such as your bread, ice cream, it'll say contains organic ingredients or contains all natural ingredients, but it's actually not considered organic or all natural unless it contains 99% of the, 99% of the ingredients have to be all natural or organic. Pretty much just read the food labels carefully. They do tend to be very long and sometimes like big words, but they're in there. In some cases, products that state that they're organic will actually have higher fat content, sugar, salt, and pretty much just be a lot worse for you, but in sort of in a caloric way. A downside to organic foods is that they're more often contaminated with salmonella and E. coli, which can often be fatal and not good. But a lot of the times the farmers that are producing these products with E. coli or salmonella, they actually are buying from fertilizer from unlicensed dealers, pretty much that have contaminated soil. Thirdly, just because it's organic does not mean it's actually more nutritious for you. A study presented by the Mayo Clinic says, quote, organically and conventional produced foodstuffs are no different in their nutrient content, unquote. There is no difference in nutrients, and people often choose organic food because of the taste or because they fear that like the unnatural pesticides are gonna like kill them, or sometimes they'll cover fruits with waxes, so that's why you see like the apples are really shiny. Another reason is that you might not want to buy organic food is that they're usually going to pay a higher price. This is pretty much due to just how the farmers cultivate their products and cultivate all their agriculture. And also because for some reason it's really trendy now, like just like Whole Foods and Sprouts, it's like cool to go there, even though you're going to pay like $5 for a freaking apple or something. Finally, both conventional and organic foods must meet the same quality standard presented by the FDA and the USDA. According to a survey hosted by the Royal Society of Chemistry, they state that, quote, the public perception of organic food is that it's a much healthier option. And because of this public mindset that organic is better, the price for organic foods skyrocketed. If a consumer's diet in conclusion, if a consumer's diet largely consists of sort of the same items if you're vegan or you're vegetarian, then you might want to consider going to organic. But if you have a really balanced diet and you're remotely active, you shouldn't have to worry about eating traditional foods. But in the end, it's going to be up to you. It's going to be up to the consumer whether they wish to buy and to consume organic foods.